So we've got to go back to basics first and actually look at how do we generate referrals, because then we can start to overlay about content, about LinkedIn, and doing it in a way that works for us for just 30 minutes a day. Now imagine a good friend of yours rang up and said, I need a plumber. Can you recommend someone? What are you thinking about right now? Don't feel you need to put anything in the chat, but I'm a bit of a mind reader and I can guess that you're just thinking, who do I know who's a plumber? You know, Heather, put in the chat box whether I'm right or not. You're thinking, who do I know who's a plumber? You're then thinking about, who do I know who's a good plumber? And by the way, why do they need a plumber? Because after all, you might be watching this on a recording, you may not be in the UK, but in the UK, plumbers tend to split into ones that do kind of big things like bathrooms, ones whose day job is about boilers and central heating because it's cold and wet in the UK most of the time, and ones that are there for emergency call up. And you generally don't want to mix it about who you want for what you want. So when it comes to credibility, our reputation is on the line. And so we wouldn't want to recommend a plumber who's not good to a really good friend of ours. And it's the same when we're giving referrals. We wouldn't want to recommend to a really good client of ours or a really good person on our network somebody that's not good. But even to get that recommendation, or even to get onto the long list, somebody's got to be visible. You've got to be top of mind. Now, a lot of people think, oh, you can just ask for the referral. You know, you talk to particularly the male, the older partners, and they go, you just got to be confident and ask for the referral. That doesn't work. It really doesn't work because you need an opportunity. You can't go to someone, and I'll take your line of work, Heather, and go, do you know a failing business that can need my help? It just doesn't work. So what we've got to do is it is about realizing that it's about the opportunity. And when the opportunity presents itself to someone, we're top of mind and we're credible for that opportunity. And then the final thing is we've got to like the person. We've actually got to like the person. There's got to be goodwill there. That's why, you know, the people that get the most amount of referrals are often the people that give the most amount of referrals out. It's often that way. So we're going to be looking at particularly how in that half an hour can you really use content and LinkedIn to get that visibility and credibility. Now, if you're watching this and you're thinking about it, this is pretty much the second masterclass in the Go-To Expert program. So if you've not started on the Go-To Expert program, do this. This is kind of like the second one of it, but it's been adapted and adjusted for post-corona type stuff. But when you look at the stats, now these stats are 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, but 90% of customer buying decisions start online. 75% of B2B buyers use social media to research vendors. And actually, McKinsey, right at the height of the lockdown, particularly in the UK in May, did a survey across the world about how are people changing their thoughts. And the big thing that struck me that came out of that survey was, for the first time ever, people were trusting online routes to research B2B suppliers than they were to ask someone for a trusted recommendation or referral. Let me repeat that. Digital was preferred for the first time over traditional methods. So what we're seeing is not just 75% of B2B buyers use social media to research vendors, it's now the most trusted route to market. And this is different to how we've been probably since time immemorial, because it's all about, you know, that personal recommendation, isn't it? Well, suddenly it's not. And if you just think about it, we previously used to be really connected to people because we'd go into the office, we'd be with people in the office. Whereas now, if you think about it, we're not in the office every day. And actually a lot of us are going, I don't want to be in the office every day. I want to go and be a bit in the office, but I don't. So we're naturally sitting there, and wherever you are in the world watching this, you'll probably have an element of social distancing. Unless you're in New Zealand and part of New Zealand that is COVID-free, you won't, but you'll have a level of social distancing. What that means is we've got some physical distance between ourselves and other people. So actually our opportunities to ask a friend for a referral are less. So it's no wonder that we're turning more to online methods. So one of the things to realize, if you're going to get this core premise of 30 minutes of business development a day without leaving my office, you've got to make a major investment in your online presence. You know, it's your online presence and content that are going to put you top of mind. But more often than not, this is the last thing on our agenda. We think, oh, I've got to go to an event, got to do my chargeable time. We don't think about our online presence. It's not part of the mix normally. And this is where we're going wrong.